All right. Yeah, really pleased. I think we're starting to learn how we want to play, what's most important, the sacrifice and the work it takes. And again, we have not arrived, okay? But like we're starting to get there and really understand just cementing how we want to play. And that's letting the defensive end lead us. We got to be better on the glass, obviously, but we knew they were going to be good on the glass, but we got to be better on the glass. And again, 22 assists. That's how we want to play. And I think the more we're buying into that as a group, the better. And so it all stems from it's in order, defense, rebounding. Then you get to play the way you want to play. I just thought we did a great job sharing the ball today after we were defending. So just proud. But yeah, we got some work to do. We got 2 weeks on the road here. So we can feel good for today. Maybe I'll give you tomorrow, but Monday, man, we got work to do. We got a lot of work to do.
You talked about the defensive end and sharing the ball, and obviously these last two games you were able to get out in transition. I know the way you want to, maybe not the best transition defensive teams in the
Sure.
league, but are you doing better in that regard, taking into account the opponents?
Yeah, it's always the way we want to play. It's just you got to get stops, man. You got to get clean rebounds. And I say clean. We had to define that as a team, right? If it's tip out of bounds, you just lost your break, right? Clean rebound is snatching that thing with two hands and getting it out and let's go. But I do think we did it well. I just think there's so many factors that lead to transition offense. You got to stop, clean rebound, right? And then the team, like Georgia Southern, comes to mind. Their effort in transition defense is phenomenal. And it seems like our 2-on-1s become 2-on-2s real quick, and they just do a really good job. And Hannah does a great job with that. So we know there's this little beautiful thing called synergy, and it gives you a ranking of you can click on your anybody's defensive stats, and it can rate your transition. So their transition defense was rated as poor, which basically means people are probably 1.2, 1.3 per possession. So we knew if we could get stops, we'd be able to run a little bit. It's how we want to play. It's how we want to play, and it really is responsible for the score ballooning like it does.
The clean rebounds, I kind of had another term in mind. When there's a couple times when, I think it was right after Angela got a moving screen, and then there was something else I think happened with Kylie on the offensive end. It didn't go her way. Both times, they came down and nobody else was getting the rebound.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure you love to see that, but is it just clicking for maybe those two in particular, or was that kind of like a mindset thing this week, getting ready for these games?
No, it wasn't a mindset thing. I just think I think when you're a player and use their roles, right? They're not a Peyton has a very different minute expectation, right? Peyton's going to be in as much as I can keep her in the game. That's no secret. I don't mind. Bree's going to be in as much as I can keep her in the game, right? With them, I think when you're getting subbed in and out and you're playing a role, I think, wow, this guy really values defending and rebounding. If I can do that better, do I get more time, kind of thing? And I think the more we're all realizing that, the better. So yeah, I don't know why they go. Angela's is a talented rebounder. I told her, look, I don't care if you got foul trouble. Go get. You got to be dominant on the glass because she can be. I was disappointed for her today, man. She ends up with the foul trouble. I wanted her to play the fourth quarter the way she's played before, right? And we get to all enjoy a little and one and some sort of emoting or whatever she does. I don't know all the stuff they do, but right, I wanted that for her today, and that's why I took her out. It's just too bad. So, no, they got to understand. Angela was 6 rebounds in 14 minutes. Good. We're gonna need that, man. Kylie's got to understand she's more than just a scorer. She's got to be able to defend, be in the right places, rebound. So I can get her to the point where she can help us scoring baskets because she certainly can do that.
And to kind of build off of Kylie, you talked about that obviously on Thursday. She comes in and hits some shots, and that you guys had a conversation after the Arkansas State game. Just how much does that help you as a team here as you get to the point where you want to peak if she kind of delivers what you were hoping for when you recruited her?
Yeah. I mean, it won't be all on her, but it sure is helpful to be able to, like right now, right? Let's use this week. She's able to spell P and be a lethal weapon when she's out there, right? And that having that, it's a weapon, man. So yeah, that's the hope, right? Is that like we've come to kind of a realization, and I say we, right, where I gotta give her some leeway, but she's got to do some of the things I'm asking her to do too, right? And I think we're at a good place with that. But yeah, having a scorer like that come off your bench and be able to give you back-to-back threes in an instant will really help us. And I don't want to say it has to be that way, but I think for us to go as far as I want us to go, she's got to play a big role in that.
I spoke to Grace in the beginning of the season, talking about how she's feeling as a freshman. She was mentioning how very timid she was, just about media stuff and also playing with her teammates. And today she came in and said that she was starting to really get comfortable and feeling like she's really a part of this team. How have you seen her develop this past season?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anybody around here that just can't love the kid. She's smiling, she's joyous, she works hard, she doesn't carry any sort of attitude. But I do think half of her battle has been her convincing herself she's good enough, right? And I think that's a confidence battle, right? But like I've said to her multiple times this year, I have way more confidence in you than you do. Like, catch up to me, right? And so, again, after I just told her today when I gave her my little chest bump, I said, "You a sophomore? Like that's what you are, man. You've played too much to be a freshman still. It's time to go." And I think she's playing tougher. I thought this week was really good for her, not having BMAC in there to kind of force her to get through some of the tough stuff. Whereas maybe if it's just I'm cycling them through, Grace is a little bit tired, let's get her out of there. It's like, no, you got to play it for an extended period now. So I think this week was really, really good for her development. And I've always believed in her. I think the sky's the limit. I think she's going to be a mainstay for this program for a long time.
Coach.
Hi, Jim.
Hello. You're getting ready to go on the road.
Mm-hmm.
The last 3 games are home games, so I feel like that's great news for the team. But you're injecting that MAC Sunbelt Conference Challenge in the middle of there. How do you kind of get yourself ready and the team ready, maybe for just a different play dynamic?
It's a good question. I didn't know you were doing the color today. I mean, I should get updates.
My bad.
I should get updates from you, Kurt. So yeah, I think I'm going to answer that 2 ways. One, like, yeah, I'm all in on Southern Miss, like 100%. We haven't played our best basketball on the road, so that's going to be my full focus. Now, the MAC Challenge is I am a believer in it, and I think I'm almost standing alone in the conference. I don't know about the MAC side, but at Sunbelt, men's and women's. And part of that is we got to play Ball State last year, beat Ball State, and our net didn't move. Right, so I get why. I still think it's a great opportunity for a couple things. A net game, UMass's net is good. Now it's a road game, so maybe it's instead of a quad 3, it's a quad 2 win. It's going to be on national TV on CBS Sportsnet. Like, there's a lot of good to it, and I'm actually really close with the UMass head coach. We talk quite a bit. So there's bragging rights too, like I can't just, but no, I think we won't ever lose sight of the goal of what we're trying to do, which is win the Sun Belt. And if, let's just say use BMAC. Let's just say, hey, we get to Friday and it's like one more day it would really, really help her get back. Okay, you're going to take it, right? And we'll play the game without her. But I just, man, I don't like losing. I can't stand it. So, no, I want to go up there and win. We'll have a decent amount of people from the north from me up there too. So I'm excited for that, but one thing at a time.
Let's go back to you talking about these clean rebounds. Coach, how do you simulate that in practice and put these components together? Because once you get the rebound, you got to know where to look.
Correct, yeah.
You got to have people in the right place. So how long does it take for that kind of game to develop?
Yeah, and I give Coop a lot of credit. I gave her the task. It's been her for a long time, but how are we going to evaluate rebounding in practice, and what are the punishments, rewards, stuff like that. So she came up with a system, and we keep a rebounding board every day. And it's important to us. If you end your day without a rebound, you have a punishment. They love that one. And then when you lead the group in rebounding, that counts as one, and we keep track. So that's the start of it, right? I think understanding, like, I don't do rebounding drills. I don't do there's like a 2-on-2. It's just like war, and people are pushing each other in the back and getting like that. To me, it's like we'd have to be really bad at rebounding for us to do that, and we're not. And so they understand it. I think their realization and intelligence level of what a clean is and how you're going to get a clean rebound. I think Grace is a good example, because you can't just be standing there, right? They're gonna hit you, and so if you've now braced yourself a little bit, and Coop does a lot of that with her, now I've got a little push before I can go jump and get a clean rebound. I think Coop's tutelage with that. You talk about one of the best rebounders to ever play here. She deserves a lot of that credit. And again, Peyton's got mitts. She'll go get a rebound. Delilah's got great hands. So those guys have helped too. But Coop with our posts has really helped. And I think Barnes' leadership down there has really helped as well. So it's a big thing for us, the cleanliness of our rebounds. It's just really important how we want to play.
Grace took a shot inside the keyhole today, which was, kind of deep for her. Might have been her deepest shot taken this year.
I think so.
It gave me a sense of, or the question of, she has not had this discussion with you, but do you see her expanding her shooting range, her game in the future? This is one of those off-season projects?
Yeah, for sure. But again, her confidence, I can't shoot threes. That's like her personality. It's like, no, like, come on. It's on our list, and it's not the top of the list, because I think base, toughening her up, rebounds, that stuff is still more important than three-point range. But, I want to play Grace in the future at the 4. And I think she'll be really comfortable with it. But I think right now you're looking at her at like high post 4, not 3-point 4. And that's going to get cloggy. But that's the long-term vision for me, is she's able to knock down a 3 here and there. She's never going to be shooting 8 of them in a game. She's confident. I think the biggest thing is knowing she can do it. And I thought that particular play was, she chases down a loose ball, comes back, bangs it. Like, I thought she was awesome today, and deserves a lot of credit for that. But long-term plan, yes. I don't know if we'll get to it this summer, but I hope so.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect her to be a Kirby Burkholder, but Kirby was sort of like that. You kind of changed her game at that time.
And I give Kenny – I remember sitting there with him, and he just kept saying, like, who's going to be our shooter? Who's going to be our shooter? Who's going to be our shooter? Because we had just lost Dawn Evans. And we're watching her, man, and he's like, look at that. Look at that. Look at her. Bang, bang. And it's like, so Kirby, shoot another one. And it came from there. Now, it took a lot of coaching, man. It took a lot of coaching from him, yelling at her. It's actually one, I'm not going to tell you now, but it's one of the best basketball stories you can ever hear that day in practice. But I'm going to leave you thirsty on that one. But no, a little bit of that. Kirby was the head of the press at Turner Ashby, right? She made layups. That's how she made her money. And Grace is a little bit different. It's a little bit of her mechanics and how she shoots. She bends with her knees and not her hips. That was very similar to Devin Merritt. Devin Merritt was a knee bender, not a hip bender, and I think it affects your range based on how you're moving. Susha also.
Interesting. All right, good. You said the word vision, which was a question I had developed actually earlier today. This stage of the season, as you're starting to see, particularly in a game like the last 2 games where you're putting the future players out there a little bit more potentially. Let's throw transfer portal out the transfer portal right now. Are you at the stage of the season where you can start to vision the future a little bit with some of these players? And it goes back to, can you expand upon, as you mentioned, what you might have on the list of improving Grace, and Are you looking at what they can do in the future for the next 10 months?
For sure. And that's I was a little bit upset with not with Grace, but Grace got her 5th foul. I wanted them to play it out. I wanted Gemma to play the 4 and Grace to play the 5, right? And now it's like that's what it's going to look like, right? Heck, Reagan Edsel was here, and I could have pulled her out of the stands. But no, I think yes and no. You know, there's you have Angela, Gemma, Grace, which is really the youth of it. I wish you could pull, you know, the signing class in here too, and get them some time in there. Obviously, you can't do that, but I was really pleased with Grace and what she did. That's why I wanted her to finish that game, and maybe we could run some stuff for her, try this. But Gemma too. I think Gemma's with BMAC's absence, Gemma was able to play in the first half, 2 games in a row, and 2 games ago I caught her off guard with it. I think she was more ready for it today, but. Yeah, it's a hard thing, man, being a freshman. And I've said it before, Gemma committed here, signed here, when Barnes was supposed to leave. And then Barnes gets another year. It's like, oh, okay, you're just sitting right on top of my minutes. But she's been a great kid throughout. So I'm with you. I mean, Delilah, again, I hold Delilah as like a junior. But yeah, I think it's there, man. And it's how I want the program to be, too, is that we're not just – bringing 10 transfers in every year. It's like there's some comfortability and growth, and that's why I want to coach still.
You mentioned the Edsel gal. Her parents are both JMU alum, former student athlete. So I want to ask this question: what do you see in the future for Reagan here?
Reagan's extremely smart. The best thing about her for me is her 3-point shot, and that's where we'll start. Obviously, when she's playing for her high school team now, she has to do everything. I just gave her a hug and said, you better give me a quadruple double here coming up, because it's so what it will be is like the way you're going to start. She's not going to be jack of all trades, right? It's going to be, hey, can you get to that line? We're going to lose Peyton McDaniel, right, who's an elite 3-point shooter. Can she fill some of that gap for us, right? And 3-point shooter, but can do everything, man. She played for Team Takeover, who won it. AAU national championship, and now she was standing in a corner knocking down threes while these other guards are, but it's still, there's value in that. And so that's where we'll start with her, but I could tell you a little bit more about the first 2 weeks after I get my hands on her.
Coach, big win 2 nights in a row,
Mm-hmm.
2 games in a row. Players were excited, they celebrated, but there was a tempered excitement to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about the maturity of this group to keep their eyes on the ball.
Yeah, we have to. And I think they know, right? And they know what we've given up, right? In some of the losses that we've given up and we've given away, and I think they know, like, yeah, we're going to take care of this business here, but it's eyes forward, man. We are eyes forward, and I hope we just keep our hand on the wheel in that sense. Appreciate you guys. Oh, my bad. Bring it back. You sure? You can get me, man.
All right. Well, talking about the MAC challenge earlier, you mentioned last year you didn't go up after beating a really good Ball State team.
Yeah.
You did go up Friday morning after winning by 50.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Just kind of knowing that and understanding how it works here after a few years, will that affect the way you schedule going forward, maybe in the non-conference, especially knowing you're going to get a good MAC team most years?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if my scheduling philosophy is going to change that much, because like I thought we had it all in place this year, and I just thought we gave a couple away that have put us down into that outside the bubble conference. Like we're, I don't know, 56, 58 area, right? You got to be 42, 43 if you're us. And I think we just gave a couple away. And that'll keep us at whatever we are right now, 57. I don't look. Right. And so, like, I don't know. I also don't know if I can schedule softer. I really don't know that. I know LSU does that, but, like, man, you got to pay a lot of people to come here, and I don't think that's in the budget. So, you're going to pay these teams and beat them by 50. It's cool. It helps your net, but, beating Virginia Tech helps our net, and not having the losses. I think we have one quad 4 loss, which I think is Georgia State, and then we have multiple quad 3 losses. 4? Yeah, I can't remember. So, I want to go for it, man. I just think, like like we're working on a couple things now to I mean, I can't say that. Sorry. But like I want challenges, and I know it hasn't worked exactly like you would hope it to. You're right. You want to be challenged non-conference and roll through the Sun Belt. Well, the Sun Belt's good. They're 6th, and it's like, so it didn't. You end up being whatever we are a record right now. But right, I don't know if I'll change that, man. You want to put opportunities on the schedule, and that's it. And so when you win them and you're in position, you're in position. And I think the Sun Belt is really helping us, as we are helping the Sun Belt, right? That we have 5, last I checked, 5 Sun Belt conference teams were in the top 100. When we joined the league, I remember Keith Gill saying explicitly, you guys are talking all this stuff about 2 teams. You don't have a top 100 team. So let's start there. And now we got 5. And like that to me is like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. We're still too balanced. There's too many of us. But like, the trick is get the Ivies, man. Get those 2 teams that are cleaning up the rest of the league but beat each other. Sorry, long answer. You good? Okay, I just checked. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Jamie, I'll be